So I know that a lot of brands will say happiness is a choice, and Coca-Cola will say open happiness over ice and served with a little umbrella on top. But I'm afraid it's not so simple. Different governments started to measure well-being, quality of life, happiness as a measure of progress. And I could see that Denmark was always at the top of these lists. And I just became curious, why is Denmark always ranking as one of the happiest countries in the world? Somebody should look into that. And then I thought, maybe I should look into that. I was director for the other think tank, and it was a well-paying, steady job. This was 2012, just in the wake of the financial crisis. So I also thought, it might also be a little bit risky to start something as crazy as a happiness research institute. But I think that decision is going to be the best decision that I'm going to make in my career. Are you going to create this thing where I could just sense there was a lot of passion from my side, a lot of interest? I had a lot of sort of sleepless nights where I thought about all the different projects you could do and all the sort of questions that needed to be answered within happiness research. I essentially just quit my job and started out with what I thought was a good idea and a bad laptop. And now it's been almost 6 years and it's going really well. When you work with happiness research, people imagine that it's, this fun and games all day. And I often joke about people imagining we have an office full of ice cream and puppies. We try to have a scientific approach to happiness or quality of life and trying to understand well-being from a scientific point of view. My day is a lot about looking at methods, trying to capture how people feel about their lives, looking at statistics, looking at numbers. So that's part of it, but I'm interested in putting at the core how you experience your life. I think you are the best judge to tell us whether you are happy or not. People are looking for new sources of happiness. I think people are feeling that growing sense that we have gotten richer as societies and sometimes also richer as people without getting happier. Aristotle was actually one of the first happiness researchers, and he believed that the good life was the meaningful life, so having a sense of purpose. We would love to have a sense of purpose in our life. We would love to have like a life goal. We would love to have something we're passionate about. I think all of us would love to say, add to cart, proceed to checkout when it comes to purpose. I think it is difficult to find. I think one guidance can be, for me it was those sleepless nights where I thought about happiness research, when I thought about the different questions I wanted to answer. That to me was a sign of where my interest and where my passion was. So I think it's important to listen to those conversations you have late at night in terms of where your passion and where your purpose might be buried. And on the other side, you had Epicurus talking about happiness as pleasure, happiness as sort of more hedonic element. I think most of us are torn between the two and try to find the balance between the two. But finding that balance is super difficult. I think happiness here and now, but also sort of long-term happiness, high levels of life satisfaction. A tip or combination could be to do something active, get out, go walking with your loved ones, because that's the second thing. Do something active, do something together with other people. And then thirdly, once you have found that thing, do something meaningful, do something that brings you a sense of purpose. I think that's the best universal advice I can give in terms of improving happiness levels.